And this does raise some questions about personal security, personal safety, which is why we brought in retired Lawrence Police Chief Gary Woodruff here to help us analyze this situation. And Gary, thank you so much for being here. How does law enforcement typically handle a situation like this?
Well, something we take very serious, whether it's a celebrity, a local celebrity person, a national celebrity person, or whether it's somebody involved in a domestic situation, something we take very, very serious, and we investigate immediately, obviously, as authorities did in this case, and leveraged whatever resources are needed from federal, state, or local resources to resolve the matter, make sure that the individual being threatened is safe, and the person responsible for doing that is brought into custody and answer to their behavior.
You know, this stalking of a celebrity of sorts is something we think about in LA or in New York or other places. We don't think about that happening here in Indianapolis. Do you feel like in Indianapolis, even we know she has her own security detail, that maybe our antenna is down a little bit about the dangers of celebrities going out and walking out in public?
I know for us in the security side of it, and people like me who have provided this type of service to people, to individuals, is our radar is not down at all. Our antenna is not down at all. Matter of fact, it's very much up. And a professional athlete like Caitlin Clark is going to be very sensitized to matters such as this. I want to make sure we're clear about this, though. No matter what celebrity status a person may attain, they have every right to go about living their lives the way they want to live their lives, free of this type of harassment and this type of behavior that somebody exhibits. And they need to be held accountable. But the person, a celebrity athlete or just your everyday person, has every right to live their lives the way they want to. And hopefully we are here to help ensure that as public safety officials and as personal protection professionals.
A lot of times they talk about getting a restraining order, and some people look at that as just a piece of paper. What would be your advice to the everyday person?
Yeah, go ahead and get that piece of paper, because if nothing else, it puts the person on notice that they do violate. It allows law enforcement to make an immediate custodial arrest. In that case, if they do violate those court orders, they're in violation of a court order. And if probable cause exists, an immediate arrest can be made. So it helps expedite that process and gives the protectee, the protected person, they're sending a clear message: I do not want to be bothered. This is not welcome.
And in order to do that, do you need an attorney, or can you just do that through police? I mean, it just sounds like a lot of words and a lot of red tape and maybe a lot of cost for somebody who's already reeling in fear.
Absolutely. So the first step is to make a police report, let a police officer evaluate. Law enforcement does not necessarily provide protective orders. That has to go through a court. So a person can go to, here in Indianapolis, go to downtown Indianapolis, go to a specific court in downtown Indianapolis, and they can apply for that themselves. Some will work with an attorney. Also, you can contact local service providers that will assist you through that process, like the Beacon of Hope, like the Julian Center. There are great people in both of those professions that will help guide a person through the process. It can be frustrating, it can be daunting, but again, to get those law enforcement professionals involved and then to follow that up with action of your own, that can seem daunting, but it can help protect you in the long run.
You know, this is making news now because of Caitlin's celebrity status, but how common is this? Does this happen all the time?
Sadly, it does happen. It does happen more than it should, but it's very unusual. It's somewhat unusual. I wouldn't say very unusual. It's somewhat unusual when it happens to a celebrity. It's not unheard of, certainly.
Okay.
People acquire a unusual fixation, an unhealthy fixation on some public people, and again, people of prominence should be able to go about their living their lives free of this.
Oh, excuse me. This is Gary Woodruff, retired Lawrence Police Chief, reminding us all that you have a right to private enjoyment, you have a right to privacy, and of course your safety. Thank you for being here.